Hi Flosstube, I'm Tanya the Starlit Stitcher. Welcome to my channel all about cross stitch. I'm going to be talking about my whips and plans for March today, but first I want to thank each and every one of you for choosing to click on my thumbnail and come and watch this video, and that's whether you're a new person watching me for the first time or if you're a returning subscriber. I love all of you. It's so fun doing this every week, and it makes me very happy to see that more and more people are finding me as we go on. So yeah, as I said, we're going to be going through what I worked on in this last week, and we're also going to take a look at how I did overall for February and my plans going into March, and I also have a little bit of haul to show you. So here we go towards the whips. Okay, first I worked on The Curious Mermaid by Autumn Lane Stitchery, and I got a lot done on her this week. Look at that. So she's almost done. Now last week I had the mermaid done to like right here, and the boat was done in these, and the chain had come down a little bit, but over half of this that's on here I did this week, and I just have this corner here to go. So I think that I might be able to finish this later today. If I do, it'll be kind of late to get her framed up and everything. Excuse me. Whew. I might be able to get her framed up and everything tomorrow. So I'm planning for a fully finish on The Curious Mermaid tomorrow. Now this down here, this is that gold Petite Treasure Braid by Rainbow Gallery. I just wanted to say that this feels kind of cool right there, because that's like, you know, quite a few stitches in there in that one area. So that one spot, it doesn't feel the same as the rest when you put, I don't know, maybe I'm kind of weird, but I just wanted to share that. Okay, and then next up we have the American Deer. I did work on that quite a bit this week too, but here he is right there in the little picture. And this is where I'm at on him this week. Now this is an 11 count pre-stamped fabric that I'm stitching with 4 threads, and I work on this in my evenings when I feel like stitching. So like this week I think I did like 5 evenings. So not as much as last week, but you can definitely tell that I did quite a bit. So this deer here got done this week, and I filled in some more stripes. So that's a pretty good area. So let me go ahead and put that away. Okay, and then lastly, I worked on Unicorn Coop for sale. That's a Heaven and Earth design. And the artist is Sheena Pike. And there's the picture of what it will look like when it's done. And here's where I got to. So I'm down into pages 9 and 10 now on my rainbow here, and coming across here, and then I'll be starting up there and finish that over there. I think that looks so good though, like you can see the edge of the rainbow now pretty clearly, and it looks so pretty. It almost kind of looks like the rainbow from the 1980s My Little Pony. You know how they had the rainbow across there? I'm a nerd. I can't help it, guys. Okay, so you'll notice that I didn't talk about Long May She Wave. I had hoped to show you guys that as a fully finished this week, but as I talked about last week, I had run out of those 2 colors, and I was waiting for them to come in the mail. I got the email that said that they had been shipped, and then I got my package, and I got the other stuff, but the flosses weren't in there. So that kind of put some fudgery into what I had planned to get done this week. But I did email 123 about it. I said, hey, I got my package. These 2 flosses that was supposed to be in there, they weren't in there. And so they're going to be sending those to me. I got the shipment notice on the replacements yesterday, so I'm not sure when those will be here, but the flosses are the only things in that package. So once that gets here, I should be good. So the plan is when they get here, I will finish Long May She Wave, and then I'll be able to show that. So let's talk about what came in the package, because you guys know me, I can never order just flosses, and I can never order just one chart. That's just the way that it is. I can't help myself. So the first thing that I want to show you is how ironic is that I got this pattern, Bloom Where You're Planted by Lindy Stitches. I picked this. Now there's a few different patterns with this phrase, the bloom where you're planted, you know, because different designers, they design a chart based on that. So there's a few different ones, but this one with the skunks appealed to me. Now you'll see it's a cat in there with the 3 skunks. And I chose to get this because I'm one of the most unlucky people that I know. I just am. I find myself in among the stinky situations all the time. But, you know, somehow or another, I come out of it and work it out and things are going to be fine. Maybe not exactly what I had planned, but they're going to be fine. So bloom where you're planted. I love it. And I also got Joyful Scene by Teresa Kogut. That was a cute little Christmas one. And what is this? Oh, Woodland Wonder by Glendon Place. I like deer. I like Christmas. That's kind of my thing. And so I decided to get that. And so everything that was supposed to be in with the flosses arrived safely and all good, just not the flosses. And of course, it's always the ones that I don't have extra laying around. And I was also checking through all my DMCs. I mean, you would think with the 8,000 shades of green that I have going on for unicorn poop, that there might have been one green that would work to match up with the eaves leaves. There wasn't. I'm like, really? And then I was trying to match up the reds to the DMCs that I have out too. And this one here, the 817, no, that's 498. Somewhere where is 817? Oh gosh, it might be in the back. Yeah, I have it in the back. But the 817 was pretty close too. Between 817 and the 498, they were both really close, but not quite there. Like I can tell subtle differences in there, and I'm like, I better just wait. So I decided to wait, and hopefully soon I will have that to show for you. And so with all that said, let's take a look at my list. Da, da, da. I had hoped to be able to cross off land that not land that I love. I haven't even started that yet. Hello. Long May She Wave. And the Curious Mermaid. I had hoped to cross both of those off, but you know, stuff happens. Sometimes, you know, some of it was kind of in my control. Like I forgot that February is as short as it is, so that kind of worked against me a little bit. But then things that I couldn't have anticipated, like with the flosses for Long May She Wave, it just kind of is what it is. You just keep going. I mean, you know, we have all have all kinds of other stuff to work on, so we're just going to keep going. But as I was saying about Curious Mermaid, I'm like a day and a half maybe of having that fully stitched and fully framed up and all of that, so that's very close. And on Long May She Wave, I have maybe an hour left of stitching on that. And then I've already got all of the stuff to finish that, fully finish that as well. So while I didn't meet the goals that I had hoped to do for February, it's close enough. I feel very happy with what I did manage to get done. I got done a lot, okay? And then also along those lines, you also have to remember that this month for February, I also completed 2 months worth of the flea market baskets sale. So I did this part and that part to get caught up in that. And then I also did 2 sections, so 2 months worth for the Nutcracker Village sale. So I'm going to talk about Nutcracker Village here in a minute. But so my plans for March is I'm going to finish Curious Mermaid, and when the stuff comes for Long May She Wave on those flosses, I'm going to get that done. So those should get done pretty quick. Now the assignments for flea market baskets for March is this inner gingham here. I have not started that at all yet. I haven't decided if I just want to go brute force and just do it all in one day or day and a half, whatever it takes me to do it, or just do, you know, one of these square thingies a day and break it up, because it is going to be kind of, I don't know, repeated patterns kind of get to me a little bit. So when I start that, I'm going to see how it feels as I'm doing it, and then kind of judge from there on how I'm going to go about doing it. But that's what will be happening in March for flea market baskets. And then for Nutcracker Village, I have the peppermint shop will go here. That's on the way. And so my plan for March is to complete that, of course. But then I still have this first block, that's the big one in the middle. I still have that to do. And so I'm going to see if I might also be able to get this done here in March. And if I can't, then I'll just carry what's left over into April to try and get this all caught up. Now I do have some plans that might help me with that, because I will be starting Pandemic by Long Dog Samplers sometime this week, hopefully in the next couple of days, because I cannot express to you guys how hard it was to not start this like yesterday. I was like, oh, it's March, it's the first day of March, I want to start it really, really bad. I did not. I'm staying the course to get some other things done first. But this is, yeah, if my flosses for Long May She Wave are not here tomorrow, by the time that I get Curious Mermaid framed up, I'm starting this. I cannot wait anymore, people. But let me show you the fabric and floss that I picked for that. I will be stitching it monochromatic. And so I am not sure, because of how big that it is, that I might get, I don't know, bored or whatever stitching with the same color, because it's massive. It's massive. It's a, some people call them BAPs. I'm just gonna say really big project. Okay, this is 365 by 429 stitches. It's not quite as big as Consider the Lilies, but it is more stitch stints. So I do think that this is the most actual stitches on any one project that I want to do for this year. And so that is why I decided to choose this over Consider the Lilies, because I was really looking at starting Consider the Lilies also. I want to do that one really bad, but I'm going to put Consider the Lilies as my second really big project one for the next time that I choose a really big one. But let me get to the fabric and flosses, because you all want to see that. I know you do. I'm going with a 28 count Lugana by Picture This Plus. This is the color Haunted. It's a really cool color, I think. And I also got a really big cut because, I don't know, I got it, what did I get? Did I get the full yard? Yeah, I did. I got the full yard of it because at the time that I ordered and kitted this up, I was still kind of getting like new back into cross stitch and finding out about fancy flosses and fancy fabrics and and all of that. And I knew how to calculate what size of fabric that I need, like how much fabric that the stuff would take. But I kind of felt like on the half yard size, it might be, you know, a little bit less of, how do you call it, you know, of a border around the design than what I would feel comfortable with. So somebody who has more experience with their framing and their fully finishing and stuff like that can most likely get away with the half yard cut. I got the full yard just to be safe because I'm not the world's most experienced person, and I would rather have too much than not enough. And so I definitely have enough. I don't have to worry about running out of fabric or running into the edge on this. And then the flosses that I picked, I just went with DMC. I'm not going to talk about how many skeins there actually are in here because I'm pretty sure I got too many of that too. But on this is 3756, and I will probably never have to buy this color ever again in my entire life. So, as I said when I was doing my video talking about my plans for this year, I am going to be keeping track of just how many skeins that I actually use to do this, and so that other people will have an answer, because I got confused with like the meters of the floss and how many strands is it talking about when it's talking about the meters, and I don't know. I just know that at least I have enough and I don't have to worry about running out of that. Oh gosh. So yeah, this is 3756 if I didn't say that before, because I'm a bit, I don't know, my brain's going a million miles an hour today. So there we have that. I'm so excited to start that, you know, maybe tomorrow, guys, maybe tomorrow. And so, like I said, with it being monochromatic in the one color, and that's a really, really big design. So my plan to break that up is, if I feel like I need a break from that, try and, you know, get caught up on this middle block on Nutcracker Village. So that is what my plan is, to give myself somewhat of a break while doing Pandemic. I don't expect to have Pandemic done by April. I mean, that would be like miraculous if I could, but I don't know. I'm just gonna have to see how it goes once I start, you know, going and stuff like that. But I do expect to have the majority of it done going into April. And in April, I will be starting, I will be starting Teresa Kogut's Land That I Love on April 1st, because deborah.carroll.stitcher over on Instagram, I'm not sure if she has a Flosstube. If she does, I'm not able to figure out which Flosstube that it is, but if I find that information after I upload this video, I'll put it down in the description box. But she's deborah.carroll.stitcher over on Instagram. She's going to be doing a hashtag Stitch Teresa Kogut for the rest of the year. And she's going to be stitching Love Reigns by Teresa Kogetten. But anyone who wants to participate in that, it doesn't have to be Love Reigns. It can be any Teresa Kogut chart that maybe you're already stitching on it. Maybe you just have the chart, but you want to participate, so you just want to kit it up. Or maybe you've already kitted it up, like I have, and you already had it in your plans, and so that's kind of bumped up the start date on it for me. So any chart by Teresa Kogut, if you want to participate, go ahead and use that hashtag starting April 1st. And that's why I'm talking about it today, because like I said, maybe you have the chart already but haven't kitted it up. Telling you about that hashtag today will give you the time to, you know, get your flosses, choose your fabric, and all of that fun stuff, because as we all know, not everything is available all of the time. It might take you a little bit to get that stuff. And speaking about fabrics, I did finally decide which fabric that I'm going to go with on this, but I do want to talk about this some more. And here I go making a mess with my stuff. Okay, so there were 3 fabrics that I was looking at for this. And how I decided to choose which one basically ended up happening by process of elimination. Because these were what I was looking at. Alright, so let's go with the first one that I eliminated. This one is a 32 count stone by Fiber on a Whim. And it's gorgeous. I really, really love this fabric. You see how it's got some gray modeling in there? I'm so glad that showed up today. Last time I showed this to you guys, it wasn't showing up that good. But the modeling didn't continue through the whole piece of fabric. If it did, I think that my fabric choice ultimately might have been different. But look how pretty that is. So I am super happy to have this, and because I ended up not choosing it for land that I love, I'll have it available to use for another project. And then the second one that I was considering and then eliminated was a 28 count helix by Picture This Plus. Now this is a light blue modeling with a white base, I think. It's really pretty. I love this piece. And I was really considering this one. But then I decided that I was going to steal it to kit up my Nora Corbett reindeer couriers, because I think this will look good for that. So yeah, my decision kind of got made for me because I did that. So that is going to be what I use for my Nora Corbett Christmas Eve couriers reindeers. And so I am going to go with the 32 count Silvery Moon Lugana for land that I love. And let me show you my flosses here. This is going to turn out really pretty, I think, even though it's not a modeled fabric. But I think that having a plain fabric will be just fine for this particular design. Oh yeah. When I was doing a video for my mom, I did one of the floss tags and I put it back in here. Okay, so here's my fancy flosses on that. I'm super excited to start this too. Like, I might have said it already, but I was going back and forth on the fabric colors for this project for so long that my husband thought I actually already stitched this. He does not pay that close attention to my stitchy stuff, but those are the rest of the colors there. Okay, quick, get the red. So I think that it will be okay on this because, you know, on the Silvery Moon, it can be, it might depend on what kind of fabric type you get, whether you get a Lugana or an Aida or a linen, but on this, it's a light gray. So, and then the Fiber on the Whim was the lightest color fabric. And you hold that up next to it. So you can see there's definitely a difference. It does have some color in there to contrast with the lighter colors in it. And that will be so fun. So I'm really looking forward to starting that too. And so that's everything that I've got going on this week, everything that I did over February, and what I'm planning to do over March. If you guys want to join Deborah.carroll.stitcher. Go ahead and use that hashtag starting April 1st for any Teresa Kogut charts that you are stitching up. It's going to be really fun. And so with that being said, that's all that I've got for you guys today, except for it's Crazy Hat Day over at my daughter's school. So when I go to pick her up, I'm going to be wearing my own crazy hat. How do you guys think about that? Whenever I was in school, I was one of the kids that, you know, I never had a funny or crazy hat or anything like that to wear. And so when I had my kids, I made sure to go and get a few funny hats. So this one is that, you know, that piranha plant off of Mario Brothers? That's what this is. And so I wear that when the kids have a crazy hat day. And my little, she chose one that's a narwhal, so it's got big eyes right there and blue for the hat part, and it's got a giant horn sticking out of it that sticks up. So she thinks it's a unicorn hat, but that's what she's wearing today. And so I'm going to have a bit of fun myself and wear this over to her school when I go pick her up. I think she'll get a kick out of it, and maybe the other parents will have a laugh too, because we all need a laugh these days, okay? So anything that we can do to cheer up somebody's day, that is worthwhile. And so with that being said, I love you all. Thank you so much for choosing to watch my videos, and I will be back next week with some more updates for you. Bye, guys.